So we're going to hear a little bit about In the Garden from our very own Reverend Joyce Zorger. All right, Reverend.
Brings back so many memories for me, and I'm trying to recover. Thank you so much for practicing that song and for presenting it this morning in such a beautiful way. And so many of you kind of joined in on the chorus of it, and it goes way back in my life. And I have to, April has always been a very special month for me, not only because it's my birth month, but also because when I was a child, Easter vacation was a time when a week off, and I could enjoy just being in the garden, helping my mother. I used to work with her oftentimes in the spring, planting sweet peas, and that's the April. I think that's my birth month flower, a sweet pea. I love the sweet pea. It smells so good. I should plant them again. Anyway, it's between my birth month and also Easter vacation, and now it's no longer called Easter vacation. It's spring break, and I'm always a little bit puzzled by that because it's way before Easter, like it is this month. It is. I remember there's another song that I love too. It's called Pieces of April. Have you heard that? By Three Dog Night. I didn't know who sang that, but it's by Three Dog Night. And it was presented by them in 1972. But I hear it a lot. One of my favorite radio stations is out of Cambria. It's 103.5. And they play all these beautiful songs from the 60s and 70s and 80s, and I just, I love the beautiful music of back then. It's just, I guess the memories, it brings up a lot of memories for me, and my friend and I, Barbara and I, were talking on the phone. She lives way down in close to San Diego, and we talk at least once a week. I've known her probably 60 years. And we go back, we talk about things that we remember years ago, but try to remember what we did when we walked into the kitchen and what we were there for. And so that's the power, that truly is the power of memory. I mean, it just stays with us. Those long ago memories seem to solidify themselves within us, within our brains, within our bodies, within our souls. A comment I'd like to make about Anne, and I just love to see her on Zoom. And when she was here, I remember her being here when she and Don first came here years ago. And I just love that couple. And he, I think about, I've been hearing so much lately because of my age, getting up there in my late 80s, and I'm thinking, so many people that I've known have made their transition. We refer to that, and I'm thinking about what I say to comfort those people. I say that when a body is no longer able to support the soul releases from the body, and that's how I recognize with John his passing in 2022, because he was ready to go. And he lived to be 87. And and that's a good long time because his mother passed in her 50s, and so he outlived both his mother and his father. He was 61 when he passed, John's father. So John was strong and loved being on Feather Ranch. He loved the work that he did there, tractor work. He loved being out on his tractor, his John Deere, and I call my John Deere. I loved being on his John Deere. And it was, and I still have that tractor, and I'm thinking I should learn how to drive that because there's a lot of mowing that needs to be done out there. The springtime has brought forth beautiful green grass, and I am so grateful this morning. I was telling Brian that, and someone else, I came in and I was talking to everybody, and I forgot to put this thing on. I haven't looked to see if I destroyed my hair or not putting it on, but anyway, I let that go. But I was talking to Brian about, now I can't remember what I was talking to you about, Brian, but it was important. No, I was just, on my ride in this morning, I was just really mesmerized by, and I left extra early because my youngest daughter, came out yesterday on her spring break, and she said, "Mom, I'll take care of all the animals this morning, all the work that you usually do before you have to leave." And I was so grateful for that. So I got in my car at 9 o'clock, and I just made a nice, slowly trip here, and I felt like I could see the scenery. And it's just so, it touched my heart so. And to me, it's the whole area is in the garden. It's just a beautiful place to be, and the poppies that I have growing everywhere on my property except where they were planted on the mound behind my house. It's true. But my daughter said yesterday, she said, "Mom, I see one poppy up there on the hill." And I could not see that. And I was thinking of whenever I get, I think it's there's a book, a magazine that you get, I think it's ARP, and they have you find, or maybe it's Westways, and you have to find the California poppy. And I couldn't find that poppy on the hill. She said, "It's there, Mom." But anyway, it's kind of interesting. And my eyes, I was not upset, but the moisture was filling my eyes from the song, because my mother, that was her favorite song. She sang, unlike me, she was a beautiful soprano singer, and she played the piano and sang, and one of her favorite songs was "In the Garden." And so when she passed away in 98, a couple of, 2 months after we moved to Feather Ranch, and I was planning on moving her there with me, but it just didn't work out. She decided to cut out before she had to experience this ranch life. But on her memorial, the day she was, we had a memorial for her, a celebration of life. I had someone sing that song in the garden, so it brings back some beautiful memories there. And hearing her sing that song, and she would sing it often. She loved that song. And in the garden was my youngest daughter loves working in my garden, though doesn't look like much. It's just mostly weeds right now, but she's out there pulling weeds, and she has a home in Southern California, Orange County, and she has a vegetable garden, a flower garden, and this is what she loves to do. And that's what I love to do when I have the time. And I've been going around trying to pull up mustard plants everywhere. And certain years, certain things seem to take over, and this year things have been taking over, I think, because I haven't spent as much time in the yard because of my knee problem, and I've had prayers out for them, and this morning it feels good. I can walk without limping, and but it's hard for me to crawl around on the ground with that knee and pulling the weeds. So if ever you want to come out to Feather Ranch, bring your work gloves and your trowels. And anyway, I think about this month being power, and I think about, it certainly applies to memory, the power of memory, and how much, I appreciate my memory and that long time memory, and I also would appreciate not forgetting things that I need to remember. And I don't know, for me, I think meditation, when I allow myself time in a peaceful place of just relaxing. And for me, I have to learn how to relax. Being an Aries personality, I've always had a lot of energy, on the go a lot, and having a lot of responsibility with my animals and the property that I own, I just I find it hard to just sit and stay and pray, and everything will be okay. Those were my words in a talk I did months, maybe last year or so. Anyway, some of the things I wrote here was to thank you for practicing that song. You said, when I talked to Jan, she said she got onto YouTube and she listened to Anne Murray sing that song. And if you have not heard Anne Murray sing the song and would like to hear it again, check out YouTube and check out Anne Murray's version of it. She said that she also said this was one of her very favorite hymnals. And last week we had a talk that was and the song that was sung was really beautiful. Robbie was here, and he plays the guitar so beautifully, and he sang a song, that song, Just a Closer Walk with Thee. And I could see it touched a lot of hearts. And for me, I was baptized Lutheran, and I went to confirmation classes as a Lutheran, and Don Aronson, I know that he was a Lutheran at one time. He was a Lutheran minister. And music is something that the Lutheran churches especially the hymnals, and I remember so many of the hymnals because I was. This was back. Gosh, I have to tell you that in that song, I did some research on the song. It was written in 1912, and it was written by C. Austin Miles, and he had a spiritual experience, and that song came to him, and he sat down and he wrote the words to the song. So I thought that's always interesting to see how people come up with the words of songs and they become so famous. And they say that the song is so popular that in the United States, and there's more than 1 million recordings and printed copies that have been sold, and it's virtually impossible to pick up a standard hymnal and not find that song. And so what I did, I copied the words to the song, and I was going to put this when I came in, I was going to put this on the table inside, but I got to talking to people, and you know how I love to talk to you all. Anyway, I didn't do that, but I have to remember to put that out there. If you want the words of the song, they're just very appropriate. And when I go out and walk with my dogs, one dog at a time, I sing that song. He walks with me and he talks with me and he tells me I am his own. And it's just being out there in nature and just absorbing that, and it's kind of like a prayer to me when I do that. Back when I was a kid, and this was back a long time ago, my parents, I think I shared this before, they rarely went to church. But there was a little church in Lawndale. I used to think the little church in Lawndale, there was a song, A Little Church in the Dale, and I'd sing it in Lawndale. And it was just 2 blocks away from where I lived in Lawndale. And I was like, we moved there when I was 7, and when I was like 7, 8, 9, I would walk to that church. My parents didn't go. I would just want to go, and then I would take Sunday school classes, and then they asked me if I would be a teacher in the kindergarten class when I was 8 or 9 years old, and and there were just a few little children there, little kids there. I've always loved children, and I have 3 of my own, and 6 grandchildren. But anyway, I would sing Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so, and the little children would love to sing that song with me. I was thinking about my brother. He went. Actually, this church that was 2 blocks from home was just a congregational church. But finally, and toward the end of the 40s, Prince of Peace Lutheran Church developed in Hawthorne, which is right next door to Lawndale. And my brother, being 5 years older than me, he was sent to confirmation classes there. And they take about 2 or 3 years, the confirmation classes, to become a confirmed Lutheran. And then it was my turn. And then I went and took the classes when I was old enough, and my mom would drive me until I was ready to drive myself, and she had a Model A Ford that she would allow me to drive to my confirmation classes, a Model A Ford. I love that car. I wish I still had it. It had a rumble seat in the back and all of that. I'm sorry, so to do some rumbling? Yeah, well, no. Okay, you're getting me sidetracked here off my point. Oh my gosh, I remembered. No, I don't want to tell that story. Another time for that. Okay, so I love talking with you, and I do sometimes get off the track, but I think I pretty much told you everything I wanted to tell you, except that there's just. Oh, I have to tell you too. When I was when I was driving to my church after my confirmation classes, I was confirmed Lutheran. And then I joined the choir. And that doesn't mean I can sing, but I was an alto, which, lower than soprano. But I would go to church every Sunday and drive my mother's Model A Ford by myself. And the music, I love the old spirituals. And so they have stayed with me. And that's why, the song last week that Robbie sang, Just a Closer Walk with Me, that touches my heart, and all of these songs touch my heart so deeply. And so there's a prayer that I came across, and I'd like to have you relax into where you are in this place where you're sitting, and uncross your legs, and just take some nice deep, I think belly breathing's a deep breath. Breathe in, expand your belly, and breathe out, and just relax into this place. As I read this prayer, it's just so beautiful. It's called a prayer of rebirth. I know there is a presence that came with me when I entered this life. And I know this same presence will go with me when I leave this physical form. For it is the presence of eternal life, the life that cannot die. And because God cannot fail, and because the divine presence within me is God as my real self, I know there is a power flowing through my word of faith which makes straight the way before me. I have no fear of the past, the present, or the future. Each and every day I am living in the knowledge that God is over all and through all. I feel this presence as perfection, as love and goodness, making my life whole and complete. And as I know this for myself, I know this for each one of you. I praise you, I raise you in the name of love. And that is my message this morning. And thank you. Thank you. God bless.